Hey guys, what's up? It's Christine Seal, the high level queen, and today I have a super exciting guest with me, surprise guest. His name is Jeff Miller. He is the owner of Facebook agency Scaling Secrets, and it is the Ask group. So if you've seen the coveted butt, that is him, and that is his Facebook group. Hey Jeff, what's going on?
It's my butt. Look, it's the cutie booties.
So today we're going to talk about sneaky surveys. What the heck are they, and why you should use them.
I love how you're trying to maintain your professionalism, and I'm just like, nah, I ain't gonna work today. That's so funny.
It's Friday.
I feel like right now, I feel like Larry David on the Tonight Show, where like my only job is to make sure that this works exactly the opposite of how we want it to work. Like, have you ever seen Larry David? He just it's like, I'm gonna talk about my socks for a bit, and just puts his and then just starts adjusting his socks and spends 15 minutes making everybody feel uncomfortable. That's what it's gonna be like today. It's gonna be super fun. Just as like a heads up for everybody watching this live or on the replay. It's gonna be a good time.
So in other words, Jeff took his pre-workout and then he didn't go work out.
I've got a whole bunch of brain parts, throwing a whole bunch of ideas. And for people that are watching this, I'm going to share with you some interesting stuff that we're doing in our agency right now that I don't think anyone else is doing, or most people are like too afraid of to do. And so if there's anybody watching this live, well, it's like kind of like people click in. But for anybody live or watching the replay, this will probably be like one of the few and rare places you're going to see this, because everyone's like always afraid of like, oh my God, is my campaign going to work before it goes live? I don't want to sell a thing I don't have confidence in. Like, most people are coming from a place of like, I read my own writing and I like it, so I can go sell it. Most people are coming from a place of like, oh, I made my own food, I like it, so I can go sell it. Most marketing services are like, let's go sell a thing and then see if we like it making it, right? That's super frustrating, right? Yeah. And so in this little session right here, for everybody that's watching, I'm going to show you how we bridge that gap and get people from like, I know I need to sell a thing that hasn't existed yet, to, oh, I built something, I'm proud of it, and I can go sell it. And it probably took me, I did this process last night. It took me like an hour because I was going slow and I was showing people like baby steps, all that fun stuff. And while I was sleeping, 9 people said, hey, I want to buy that thing. And I got their name, number, and email, and now we're doing qualification calls. And this is like our case study, our test run. So when I go to a client in that city or in that state, I have like confidence that these are like real people, right? So I think we're going to talk about that for a bit. Is that cool?
Yeah, and if they have questions, can they just pop them in the chat? And if they're relevant, we can answer them, or do you want to do it at the end?
Feel free to interrupt me, because I've had enough pre-workout to where like I feel I can do like 10 things at once. It's going to be awesome.
Yes. Okay, awesome. Are you guys ready? Give us some likes and hearts.
All right, that stop screen, share screen, share screen, share screen, share screen.
Stopped it and you made it mad. There we go.
Share screen. Okay, cool. For people who are going to ask, and everybody's going to ask, this is a Lucid chart. You can go to lucid.app or just Google Lucid chart. I find I like this a lot better than Google Slides sometimes, especially if it's like big stuff. And today we're going to be going over we'll call it the normal, everyday business owner, make a thing first that works, and then sell it second, marketing agency thingy. You can tell I'm really, really bad at naming stuff today, but this is what we're going to call it, right? So this is specifically for people who are running Facebook ads, who have an agency and all that fun stuff, that like, hey, I know I need to get a client, but like, hey, I don't know if I have confidence in it. I don't know if this campaign is going to work. I don't want to sell something and have an unhappy client. And usually the easiest way to deal with that is just have a risk reversal, like, hey, we're going to try for 90 days. If you hate it, just refund you, give you $100 for wasting your time. But that sounds like it hurts more than actually just not doing it, right? And a lot of people are behind the screen and they want to have confidence and they want to write the book before they sell it. Cool, let's just deal with that. Let's just assume that's where you are. And there's nothing I can do or say, or that Christine could do or say, or anybody could do or say to say like, go sell a thing and then make it. You want to make a thing and sell it? Cool, let's make a factory. Let's bake some pies. Let's write some books, right? Here's usually what marketing agencies do to make their clients happy, right? Like get results, Facebook ads, all that fun stuff, right? So first things first is the lead generation. This is an ad that like goes on the internet on behalf of your client saying, hey, this is the ad I'm running for a client. Not to get clients as an agency owner trying to get clients, but as a client trying to get customers. Like that's the difference between client getting ads and business and customer getting ads business to business to business to consumer. Let's just say this is what you do for a client. You do the lead generation ad. Somebody fills out the name, number, and email, which is totally great, fine, perfect. And then there is a type of, let's just say, qualification process. Sometimes this is like a quiz form. Sometimes it's a survey. Sometimes it's like the Facebook lead forms or landing page or messenger bot, whatever. It's a qualification process. Sometimes I call this the conversion device, but it's whatever next steps that you have. Let's just say that you're in the moving company business and you have a client that's doing moving company business stuff and you want to run ads to get him more moving company clients, right? So you're running a lead generation ad saying, hey, we're a moving company. If you want to quote, click here. And then the qualification process is what's your zip code, where you're trying to move to, and how much stuff do you have? Some type of qualification process, right? And then you get them on the phone and get them to show up. And so this is like if you're a doctor, lawyer, accountant, you want people in the chair having a conversation with you like, hey, I'm interested in purchasing your tax attorney services or interested in purchasing your physical training services or anything and everything, right? Lead generation, qualification process, get them to show up. Since I'm not my client, right, it's over here. We're going to change this to live transfer or booked appointment. And this is the show. It's like that. This is what you'd actually do for a client. Like a real life client, let's just pretend they're paying you money. This is what you would do, but you don't know if this is going to work. You don't have confidence it's going to work. You're just like sitting there, like freaking out late at night, sweating, saying, oh my God, I don't know if this is going to work. And you can't write the book after the fact. You have to write the book before you sell it. If you're that, cool. But this is what you would do. Lead generation, qualification, get them on the phone, live transfer, booked appointment, then they show up, right? So what we've done is we actually made a fake client for ourselves. A real life fake client. Like my name is Jeff and I set up Jeff's chiropractor. My name is Jeff and I set up Jeff's dental. My name is Jeff, I set up Jeff's gym office, whatever it is, right? And what I wanted to do was run this for my fake client for secretly ourselves, and then have confidence that this is going to work. And the reason why is because most people have this little bubble over here. Where is the circle? Like this little thing in your head saying, I can't get a client unless I have results first. And you end up like having this like catch-22 scenario of like, I can't get a client because I don't have results, but I don't have results so we can't get a client. And you just catch-22, like this is the demon on your shoulder kind of thing. And so what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna show you how to get results, right? And it's called the case study for peanuts process, where you make a fake client for yourself and you just run ads like you would for your client. That's it. So as an example, let's just say I see an ad on the internet that I think would work. And there's a million different ways and places to see this ad. You can go to Facebook Ads Library, you can see it in your newsfeed, see it on AdWords, somebody gives it to you, they're like, wow, this ad would be so cool. Or you're literally looking for dental services or gym services or chiropractic services saying, oh, I wonder if that ad works, right? Usually what happens is like you run around to your client and they're like, oh, do you want to try this ad? They say no. You're like, please, $100 curious trial, student stuff, they just freak out. Cool. So, but when I see an ad on the internet, I go, oh, I wonder if that would work. I'm going to make a fake business page for a fake client. And the term fake is probably a little bit alarming or something like that, but I just want to know if this ad is going to work. That's it. So I saw an ad for, let's just say, a $21 dental special, and it was not a free cleaning. It was just $21 for an implant or a whitening or an examination, whatever it is. If it was a $1 for 30 days at a gym ad, if it was anything and everything for tax attorneys or construction services or whatever, if I saw it on the internet that I thought would be cool, that I want to know if it was going to work, that's what I would do. And the next thing is I would create a business page that's fake for a fake client. Jeff's City Dental in Atlanta, Georgia, right? Just fill out the information, go to Canva, create your cover photo, put a profile picture on there, and honestly, 90% of people don't even check the address. If it's an ad that they're seeing, it's fine, right? You don't need to have like an Upwork thing or a WeWork thing. You don't need to have a physical location. Facebook will let you remove your address. Just don't put an address, right? If you're freaking out, but what if they call? Put a call tracking number or a Callrail number and just set it to go to voicemail, where it's your voicemail saying, hey, thanks so much, leave a voicemail. That's it, right? So I see this ad on the internet. I'm going to make a fake business page for a fake client. And then I spend $100 seeing if this ad actually works. So for example, let's just say I see an ad, and this is a real life case, by the way. Like, let's see an ad for dental implants. And I'm like, wow, I wonder if that could actually work. Like, how cool would that be? And I really want a client in Jersey. Cool. All I did, by the way, last night was create a dentist's page in the state of New Jersey on Facebook, install the ad, and spend $100 actually advertising that service. Right there. And honestly, I was having a little bit of freak out, but it's just $100. If it bombs, I can delete it. For some reason, it's much more easier for me to waste my money than it is to waste my client's money. And I just want to have confidence. Great, fine, perfect. So I spend $100 to see if this actually works. I have people fill out a form, like name, number, email, how fast you're looking to move forward, have you ever been quoted before, what made you interested in us, things along those lines. Just a Facebook form, not complicated, not challenging. I didn't even build out the whole landing page. I didn't build out the whole messenger bot sequence. No, not a bunch of soap opera sequences, not a bunch of emails, no callbacks, no tech, nothing like that. Put an ad on the internet, make a fake business page, spend $100, and I have people fill out the ad. Like, here, you want this? Name, number, and email. If you want to have a really good time, your advantage is not actually advertising a free thing, but instead advertising a paid thing. So for example, with this, we're saying, hey, this costs $1,700. If you're interested, click here and schedule an appointment. Cool. And if you're in the dental space, it's a dental implant. But whether it's like gyms, doctors, lawyers, accountants, attorneys, or bike shops or car washes, anything you imagine, put it on there. If you're seeing an ad, you're like, I wonder if that would work, put it on the internet, pick a city, advertise it to everyone in that serviceable zone, you're good. So I spend $100 seeing if it actually works. I have people fill out the form. Great. And then I zap, or as Jeff termed, shove that stuff into GoHighLevel. You can use Google Sheets if you'd like. GoHighLevel is a little bit more of a huff and puff, but it's somewhat easier, longer term with larger scale. But for the most part, this is all we're doing, right? This is literally it. It's not hard, not challenging, not particularly difficult. Just doing something like this provides me the confidence to know if my ads would work before it goes live. Let me show you the actual results of this. Again, we did this last night, literally last night. All I need to know is if this is going to work before I approach my New Jersey client or any client. Or if I have a client that's like, hey, Jeff, I'm not interested in this. You've never done my city before. Great, call me in a week and I'll have proof of results in your city, right? This is the steps that we did last night. And this is the results right here. Let me bring this up. Here is the results of doing this. And by the way, we didn't spend $100. I think we spent like 15. These are the results right here. Cool. So last night, while I was sleeping, 8 people filled out. Actually, it's not true. It's 9 now because this is a screenshot. But let's just say 8 people saw the ad that I put up last night, clicked on it, typed in their name, number, and email, said they were interested. I have no client for this. I am my own client. It's a fake client. It's like Jeff Dental, right? It's in a city that I've never advertised in before. And you know what's happening is people are filling out the form, just like that. Now what's going to happen, by the way, is I'm going to give them a call and qualify them. Hey, this is Jeff. I'm so happy that you filled out the form. Thanks so much. I just want to ask you a couple questions before we see if it makes sense to take a next step. Is that okay? Do you have 10 minutes? Awesome. What made you interested in filling out the form? How fast are you looking to move forward? Do you know how much this stuff costs? Do you have money set aside for this or financing or blah, blah, blah? The same qualification process I would have my client go through, but I'm just doing it for myself, which is a fake client. And I call them and I qualify them. At the end of it, by the way, I can't take their money because I'm not a real business. This is just a fake thing. I say, hey, thanks so much for giving me this information. I'm going to pass this to my manager. Can we call you tomorrow with a confirmation? There we go. Cool. And I know the 8 people, 4 won't pick up the phone, but I'll call them 7 to 14 times. I'll do some text message and email stuff, try to get them on the phone, and we'll see what happens. But out of the 8 people here, I know 4 are no good. 4 are going to be someone okay. 2 are going to show up. Cool. So now I can go to my client in Jersey and be like, hey, you know how last week you said you weren't interested in my services because we've never done ads for your business in Jersey before? Well, remember how I said, give me 7 days and we'll have a case study? Well, in 7 days, I went ahead and got 8 people interested in this service using this exact ad. I talked with 4 of them on the phone. I have a 10-minute qualification call with them each. And 2 of them said that they have money set aside, are interested in purchasing the services, and like a call back tomorrow. Why don't you call them back and see what happens? Tell them Jeff sent you. And let me ask you this. If they come in, is that proof enough that you should be employing my services? Cool. I'll call you in 3 days. Let me know how it turns out. Remember, these people want same-day appointments. Thanks so much. Bye. And I hang up the phone.
That's awesome.
Right? Call them back the next day. Be like, hey, how was it? They go, hey, this was awesome. You say, great. Our next step is for you to employ my services. And I can either install this into your account or continue running it as it is. Which one's the best fit for you? If I call them the next day and like, hey, we didn't book anybody, I know it's not a good idea for me to do business with them. Cool. Not to worry, Mr. Johnson. Thanks for considering this. By the way, before I let you go, is there any other people that you know that might be interested in a system like this? And go to that person and be like, hey, in 10 days, I got 15 people. I've spoken to 7 of them, and they want a same-day appointment. By the way, they know that this costs money. The ad says it costs $850 plus 6 payments of $150. Do you think we can do business together? Let's go. The money I'm spending on Facebook, I have to spend on to cost to acquire a client anyway. I might as well just get a case study.
Yeah.
And you know, if you really want to get super gutsy, this is start something called vertical integration, which is what very successful agency owners end up doing. They say, screw it, I'll just buy out a client or build my own practice right there. And all they do is this and pass it off to the general manager. That's it.
That's a great way for you to see if you want them as a client as well.
Yep. Because if they call once and they're like, front desk called, so they didn't pick it up. I go, that's interesting because when I called and then blah, 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 I push replay. They're like, all right, well, this is not going to work. Right? Like I want somebody who's interested in calling more than once. I want somebody who has same day appointments. I want somebody who says yes. I don't want somebody that's like, all right, but who are these people? I'm not sure. Blah, blah. Like, all right, not interested. But if the future client or customer goes, I've got same day appointments. I'm hungry. I want this. You give me a name, number, and email. Are these people real? I'm going to push play. You can listen to the phone call. And you know what, Mr. Johnson, what I'm doing is I'm calling right now. I'm going to live transfer to you. The line is recorded. We are checking your front desk. And now I've got, you know, agency scaling swagger. Where I'm just walking around saying, wow, my stuff works. I'm spending $30 a day. People are signing up for this stuff. Now I just got to find a provider. Yeah. And that feels a lot more small business and natural and normal than, oh, I got to go get a client and then build it later.
Right.
So that type of stuff.
Would this work if you wanted to do like selling the leads model? That
is correct. So let's just say I've got my own brand. Let's just say it's Miller City Dental of South Florida.
I like that.
Isn't that fun? Miller City Dental of South Florida. We have a network of dentists that will see you same day. Awesome. What's your zip code? Fantastic. Can I go ahead and get somebody on the phone with you right now? Would you mind if I put you on a brief hold for 15 seconds? I call the guy in the area, say, hey, I've got a live one for him, do a live transfer right now. Remember, this call is being recorded. Mr. Johnson, we actually have a dentist in your area. I'm gonna go ahead and live transfer you right now. Thanks so much. I'll be sure to send you a survey in 30 minutes. Let me know how it turned out. And then you can do that manually. You could do that automatically. You can do some really cool routing software. You could set it up to where like when that conversation is more than 30 seconds or 2 or 3 minutes, you automatically bill them $250 or all that fun stuff. But the end result is, yeah, you could do this pay per live transfer, pay per lead, pay per appointment, pay per show. You could do flat rate installation. You can do a retainer service because the product here already works. And now you have confidence to do a whole bunch of stuff, right?
Yeah.
I think this is where agency itself is moving into, where we're no longer doing this as a service on a client's behalf, but actually owning the CRM part of it and then farming it out, or actually owning a practice itself. And I mean, I've talked to a lot of people, that's what they end up doing. Like when their stuff works, they get so pissed about like, I mean, we've had dentists that like don't even show up to their appointment. You're like, dude, did you just tell the front desk to tell your person that you were out golfing? Like, oh my God, dude. Like,
Really?
wow. Yeah, that happens. We've had dentists that curse me out 30 days in. And he's like, Jeff, I'm super disappointed. I go, me too. They're like, what are you talking about? I was like, I got 5 recorded phone calls of somebody saying that they want to spend $2,500 and your staff had them go fill out a financing application. So she went down the street. And they're like, I had no idea. I was like, that's why you're paying me money, right? And so after a while, a good agency owner gets so sick and tired of this, they say, screw it, I'll send the leads to myself. So they end up owning Miller City Dental, where they actually hire a dentist or a carpet cleaner or a lawyer, doctor, accounting, whatever it is, right? And so they make more of those dollars. But this is the first step. Like I could literally just advertise this, and this is in Jersey City, advertise this in Jersey City, get a whole bunch of people that want dental services, and call up dentists like, look, I've got 5 to 10 people a day filling out forms and calling me saying that they want implants. Can I send you 2 or 3? And if you like this, would you be interested in buying more? That's it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that kind of stuff. I hope this was like blew somebody out of the water or something like that. But
that's amazing. Guys, if you have any questions, make sure to put them in the chat because Jeff has graciously agreed to share his time with us today. So put them in the chat. And it's also, it seems like a great way, Jeff, to like try out a new niche if you don't have any results.
Correct. So while we were talking, by the way, this is, I can show this. All right, so we're now up to 10 while we were talking, right? So now I have 10 people that filled out this form.
Nice.
One of them just came in. Abraham came in while we were talking, right? The guy at the top. So I don't know if this is gonna work. I don't know if I've done ads for this dentist before. I don't know if I've done ads in Jersey before. I don't know if this niche is gonna work. But for $100, we're gonna find out.
Yeah.
Totally. And now I don't have to worry about like over specializing or spending all this time trying to pick a niche or like trying to understand all of it. It's like, no, I want to see if I can generate interest. I can qualify that interest. That's it. I don't have to spend 6, 8, 10 weeks trying to pick a niche. Hey, that looks like it's going to work. Let's go.
Yeah. And you don't have to spend months on the wrong clients that don't want the money. Mm-hmm. They're allergic. They start itching. They're like, oh, I can't.
We were on the phone with our client that was like, look, I only want to be a 1-person shop and I only want to talk to people that are super duper qualified and I don't want to have to waste time on like collections and marketing. I go, well, you know, it's interesting that you're on the phone with somebody who does marketing because it sounds like you don't want to do any of the doing part. You just want to sit in your chair and only do this one thing. Are you sure you don't want to work for a hospital? Right? Because that's what hospitals do. They do all that other stuff so you can be the technician, right?
Yeah.
But to answer your question, like this is probably the easiest and best way to test if an idea could work, if a niche could work, if I like doing it and stuff like that. It's very low cost. If you've got $30 a day to spend, you can be jumping up and down. You can call these people back, have qualifying conversations, know that they're real and legitimate. I've spent a grand total on this right here, like $4 a lead. So that's $32 or $40 or something. That's not true. Let me bring that up right now. Let's figure out how much I've spent on these leads right here to know if this ad would work and ultimately get myself up and running fast. And it's a small number.
I'm going to make them work for it though. Is that cool?
Yeah, tell me.
Guys, if you want to see that, give us some likes and hearts. Give us some hashtag Jeff My Faces. Okay, come on. Give us some love.
So for this thing right here, like that screenshot and all that fun stuff, we have spent a grand total. Let's see. So Facebook says we have 9 even though we have 10. I'll show you right here. We have spent grand total of $19.
Wow.
Right? So I spent 19 bucks. I got an ad that I thought could work. I put it on a brand new fake business page that has like, it looks legitimate. It's not a scam or anything like that. It's just like, we're testing this, right? I'm not trying to like take people's money. Just need to see if this ad is going to work. And I spent 20 bucks. And now I can go to any client or customer and be like, look, I know what you're saying, which is you want a lot of proof. We've been running this for 7 days. These are the type of quality conversations I'm having. Do you think these people are qualified? Yes or no? That's it.
Yeah, that's amazing. Okay, we're getting some questions now.
Yeah.
Bite of the day says, have you worked with dentists who use Dentrix?
Yeah, of course. But what ends up happening is most dentists try to have like the tech and the integration, all that fun stuff. And I'm coming in at the bottom level saying like, hey, look, I know that's a thing, Mr. Johnson. I hear you loud and clear. I'm not trying to be in that space. I just want to send you patients that are somewhat qualified. Are you open to saying yes to that? And they'll say yes. Cool. And then what's interesting is when you do that live transfer, just like American Express, like, hey, Mr. Johnson, I've got Alex on the line that's going to get you set up with your account. Thanks so much. And Alex, here's Jeff. I'm gonna exit the call. Have a great day, right? Like that's a live transfer. That's what American Express does. And so I'm doing that with a dentist, which I'm going to be doing later today and tomorrow. All of a sudden, I don't have to worry about a CRM integration. I just have to worry about that live transfer. Mm-hmm. Did the front desk pick up the phone? Hey, front desk, this is Alex. We've already talked about whether or not he wants dental services. He signed up for the 1950 special, and he's interested in coming in tomorrow. Mr. Johnson, isn't that right? Awesome. Like I said before, this is Alex. He's going to make sure you're taken care of. I'm going to exit the call. See you later. Bye. And then the front desk plugs it into whatever that they want, right? That is much easier to say yes to than having somebody say, oh, but what about the CRM? And I know this because like I'm doing work for a blood plasma center where like you donate blood and you get paid for it. And they've got a HubSpot integration. And they're like, could this work, integrate in HubSpot? And the answer is like, yes, everything integrates with everything. The question is whether or not you want to have that conversation and where you want blame to go. Like, I don't want my client saying, Jeff, you sent us 1,000 leads and none of these people are picking up the phone. I want my client to say like, hey, you sent us 5 live transfers and 4 of them were really qualified. Thanks so much. That's what I want, right? So the answer to your question is like, yeah, we've worked with Dentrix and all the other ones. It's always exhausting. It's saying like, look, I just want to do live transfers. And at the end of the week, I'm going to send you a replay and a bill of any qualified live transfers. Everybody's a lot happier and healthier because of it.
Super smart.
Yeah.
Cool. Nice. I'll definitely need to rewatch Just Joining. Cool. You definitely do because you missed some cool stuff. Are you using a Facebook lead form? Yeah.
So if we go back to my little screen right here. So typically, this right here is actually called the conversion device. Conversion device. And that could be a landing page, that could be a bot, that could be a Facebook form, that could be whatever you want it to be. For me, Facebook forms are like the easiest thing to do right now. Like I could figure out messenger bots if I wanted to, and then I would have another heart attack and just get exhausted. And I was like, I'm dragging it. Why doesn't it drag correctly? And you're like, oh, you have to do the keyword to open. I'm like, oh my God, right? Like I'm not doing that. And then there's a landing page conversation. And as soon as Facebook made that little announcement of like, hey, here's this big red bar that you have to fix, and here's some yellow warnings, and you only get to pick 4 instead of 9. I was like, all right, I'm not doing that. Like this needs to be done within 30 minutes before I go to sleep. So I just used the Facebook form, and that was it.
Cool. William says you've opened my eyes to a future income stream.
Yeah, I think this is like the I was talking at Robbie's event. You and I were talking, and like there were 5, 6 other people like, what's the next thing, right? And I was like, I think the next thing is going to be like pay to be on somebody's list, and then actually doing this type of stuff for retainer and agency work. Like no longer is it going to be, hey, let's go ahead and have a big sales pitch and try to risk reversal. And it's exhausting, right? Like having a 45-minute sales call again and again is exhausting. Hey, Mr. Johnson, wouldn't you be excited? It's going to be so great. You have to like do this on. It's like, oh my God, right? Like I'd much rather. Do you hear the echo, or is that just me?
No.
Okay. I would much rather go ahead and say, like, look, Mr. Johnson, the past 7 days, I've set up a brand new business on Facebook, doing the exact same thing I would do for you, and we've gotten 5 qualified phone calls of people that desperately want to come in tomorrow. Doesn't that seem easy to say yes to, right? And this is very builder. This is very human. This is very much like, oh, I made a thing and I'm proud of it and it works. Yeah, it costs money, right? $20. And I'm estimating I'm going to spend $100 before I get like a critical mass of proof where I'm like so proud of this, I'm telling everybody. But I'd rather spend $100 than another 5 demos trying to go ahead and pull blood from a stone.
Yeah.
So that kind of stuff.
That's what I did when I sold insurance leads, because insurance agents, they only care about exclusive fresh leads, right? Mm-hmm. They get all their leads are shared, or they do, you know, the exchanges, or they do the scraped list from an old phone book. And to come at them and say exclusive fresh leads are like, what?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
And it was so much easier. You just send them the info and they call them than like trying to integrate with their CRM and trying to, no.
It's like, it's never going to happen. There's too many hurdles. It's very hard to say yes to. It's very easy to cancel. You're like, oh, I don't have to deal with these problems anymore. But imagine a world for everybody watching. Just imagine this. Like as that insurance example, insurance leads, Florida, South Florida, Jeff Miller's insurance leads, whatever you want to call this logo, right? You're running your own ads for your own business. You're spending the money. You spend it for like 7 days. You're like, I need to know if I could do insurance for South Florida. I need to know if I can generate leads, generate ads, have that conversation, and if these leads are any good. Because if I do it for somebody else, the first thing they're going to say is leads are bad, always. And that'll kill somebody's agency like right out of the gate. Somebody says your stuff sucks, that ruins you, right? So if I build this out and I spend $100 or so over 3 days, and I got a list of, let's just say 50 people that are interested in my services, and I have qualifying conversations with them, and I do a live transfer, just give them out for free or whatever I want, not only am I confident in my stuff and my stuff is working, I'm happy with it, but I'm starting to build an asset. And that's what most agencies miss out on. They're not building assets, they're building services. I'm doing work on somebody else's behalf, and I hopefully get a little line at the bottom of their website saying, done by Jeff Miller, right? Versus this, which is I now have an asset and I'm sending leads out to people and they pay me for it. If my client leaves under this model, whatever, I don't care, I'll go somewhere else. Yeah. But if my client leaves me under the normal retainer model, all my assets are gone. I spent 6 months building a website I can no longer do business with. So I think this is like the transformation of the up and coming thing. I think like 6 months to a year, I think everybody's gonna be doing this. Like we're gonna see people in our space, in our agency space, like owning up until a phone call. Mm-hmm. Not even going to our clients' Facebook campaigns anymore, not asking for their emails, not asking them to fill out an onboarding form, probably just like, hey, what's your credit card number? Here's your terms of service. Your leads start tomorrow.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Cool.
That's what I think, at least.
Jeff, appreciate your insights. Christine, thanks for setting this up. You got it.
Nice.
Very good point with potentially removing additional effort into CRM integration. Right on.
Yep.
Oh, here's a question on the ad. Are you doing basic industry offers?
I am so emotionally exhausted with copywriting courses. It is hilarious. Like I bought my last book I'm ever going to buy for copywriting, The Ultimate Sales Letter. I'm never reading any more copywriting books. End of discussion, right? Like I cannot be a better copywriter than anybody else out there. It's not going to happen, right? But I can look at their ad. Like here's an ad that already works on the internet. That's cool. And it's a local business ad. Cool. I don't have to like rewrite this sucker. I'm not good at that stuff. I'm a marketer. I'm a C+ student at the most, right? Like I'm only good at doing stuff more. And there's no advantage of me trying to be like the most amazing copywriter, Ogilvy ad maker in the world. I was like, oh, that looks like it works for a client in California. Maybe I should run it in Texas to see if it works. That's as far as my brain goes.
I think you are, by the way.
A copywriter?
Yeah, a really good one.
I appreciate it. If that's the case, I'll just rephrase and say, I'm no longer applying copywriting skills to ads, right? Yeah. Like there's no advantage. But to answer your question, Mr. Facebook user that I cannot see or hear from, but it's literally like, oh, this works. Let's try it elsewhere. That's it. For example, like The Joint, the chiropractor, the McDonald's chiropractor is going to put all the chiropractors out of business.
Yes. Right? I love that place.
See what I mean? Like it's so much better.
Yeah.
Right? 15 minutes, everything hurts. I'm better now. See you later. Bye. Right?
$40 a month, unlimited, or it's like 4 visits for $40. I'm like, or $60, or why would you not? Yeah.
It's nuts, right? And then you're like, yeah, give me the shots. Give me the other stuff. I'm interested. Let's go. They know how to upsell you and you feel happy about it. I'll bet every single person is going, God damn it. Like, I wish that I invented that ad. They're going, God damn it. I wish I had a client that would do that. Cool. Do it. Run an ad like The Joint. That's it. Yeah. And call it Jeff's Chiropractor of South Florida. And then get 20, 30 people in there, have a qualifying call, and at the end of it, be like, hey, if we could see you the same day, would you be interested? Awesome. Let me have my boss give you a call back. We'll make sure you're taken care of. And then call chiropractic to be like, hey, this is going to sound really weird. I'm a marketing agency. I have somebody that needs to come in today, and I don't have a client to send to. Can they come in? Can I do a live transfer right now? Who's going to say no to that?
Right.
If they say no, all right, not to worry, I'm going to go down the street. Within 3 or 4 phone calls, they say, of course. You're like, great. You do a live transfer on a recorded line, call them the next day. Hey, did that work for you? Cool. That was to get your attention. Are you ready? I do this for a living. I generate anywhere between 5 to 10 people that want to come in the same day for chiropractors all across South Florida. I'm looking for a client in Kendall. Do you want to take these types of quality leads? Cool. I'm going to give you 3 more. Figure out how much you make from this, and then I'm going to call you on Friday, and we're going to figure out a number. If you want to continue on, great. If not, I can always go to somebody else. What do you say? Now, when they buy, you've got somebody to send the leads to. And if they cancel, you still have your asset.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
That type of stuff.
Awesome. Any recommendations for a call center, or are you doing that yourself?
What's popping, Jerem? So we are now testing out. So we originally hired an external call center, and we had to do all the zaps and the integrations and the emotional exhaustion. Like, I need to get access to their system, which is always changing. It's like, oh my God, like they're good at their job. But like when it's 4 a.m, I'm like, I would like to listen to some calls. And then I have to request, and it's like, oh my God. And then it's like, where's the password? It's like, it ends up being a shit show, right? And like me and my business partner, we were like, all right, we're going to spend more just to get this up and running, knowing we have to like do some ISA, like get somebody on my team to do the callbacks. So right now we have an external call center. That's for the real agency. For this sandbox and this test run, I will be doing the calls. I will be recording them, writing them on a Google Doc, and saying, hey, this is what you're supposed to say. Then I will get a virtual assistant based South Africa. South Africa, by the way, has like great English accents. I didn't know that, right? Mm-hmm. It's so funny. It's like South Africa or South America, English and Spanish. Cool. Hey, I want you to log into our CRM, do some callbacks. That's it. Have a qualifying conversation. And if you feel like this is worth doing a live transfer, click this button, speak like me, and then we're done. Be sure to take notes. See you later. Goodbye. That's it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Does HighLevel allow clients to track employee online work besides call tracking? Do you mean like screenshot monitor?
I think that's what he means. The answer is no. And it's not really like on my radar at all. Like a virtual assistant at the most is like $7. And you just pay them for like 4 hours a day. For $30 a day, everybody gets a call back, right? I don't particularly care. That's not like the culture I'm trying to build. And I'm convinced like half my employees don't do anything half the day. I don't care. Get your job done, right? No big deal. And good on you for figuring out how to accidentally automate all of your work without telling me, right? I don't care, right? And with this, I know that I won't even care whether or not I can see my ISA's phone calls or see if they're accessing the CRM, because I can listen to the phone calls, right? That's the KPI thing that matters. If they're billing me 4 hours out of the day and they call everybody, awesome. If they're billing me 2 hours out of the day and not calling anybody, that's a problem, right? So the answer to the question is no. And honestly, for like where we are right now, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Hi, Cindy. Cindy thinks that McDonald's of chiropractor was funny.
Yeah, but that's what it is. Like Sydney definitely knows like the downward pressure that chiropractors are getting from the joint. And what's interesting is it's the same type of pressure that dentists are getting. So like back in the day, like when you were a dentist, you were the only dentist on the block. To be successful, you just had to move towards no dentists, hang a sign, I'm a dentist, come in, right? That's how it was. And now it's like there's I think like 117,000 dentists graduating in the next 2 years. And on average, and this is from the ADA, there's one dentist per 100 people in the United States. That's not enough to have a patient every single day. Like even if everything was evenly distributed, you'd only have one patient every 3 days.
Yeah.
And you're like, that sucks, right? That's really, like, really, really hard. So dentists have a lot of people coming out to compete with them. I think dental salaries are down. I think it's like the dentists made more money in 1990 than they do today. And their 3 best products and services have massive competition. So teeth whitening, $80 you can do it at your house and get 80% of the way, right? You remember it had like, and then they lost your teeth. It's not a thing anymore, right? Like it doesn't work that way. Like you just go to the store and get a Crest thing and you'll be happy, right? Do it before you go to sleep. Don't drink red wine. You're gonna have a good time. Braces, by the way, which used to be like that bread and butter, now is Invisalign. And most people can get Invisalign sent directly to us through like Smile, right? Smile Makeover, whatever it is, right? And it's not perfect. And I look at the conversation dentists have, and they're arguing like, yeah, but the millimeter gap is too big. I'm like, it doesn't matter. It's cheap as shit. You get it overnight. You get 80% of the way without leaving your house, right? Now the next tier is implants, and that's the best bang that dentists have for their buck. Chiropractors are experiencing something very, very, very similar, which is like you can, if you do it right, go to the joint and get a better or similar experience. You can, if you do it right and you have a great experience with a chiropractor, realize that they fixed you and you never have to go back. You can, if you do it right, lose all the weight. And like, so chiropractors have like this weird, like they're being outcompeted by like non-chiropractors. And also if they do a really, really good job, they never come back. And it's like, it's super frustrating. And the dentists or the chiropractors that move to like a MRR model, a nutrition-based model, a holistic health model, and they do Q&As and they become their Dr. Oz. Those are the chiropractors that become super famous. They become massively successful. They have books and seminars and in-person events, but the chiropractors are just trying to do that one thing. Just like dentists who are just trying to do that one thing, then are massive attack. So yeah, there you go.
And Cindy is a dentist, by the way.
Oh, there you go, dentist. All right, so Cindy, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? Like teeth whitening, like it's very easy to get very similar results from a CVS, right? Implants are by far the best bang for the buck. No ifs, ands, or buts. And implants like naturally lead to a $20,000 or $25,000 sale called an all-in-4. Like if you're good for an implant, it's only a matter of time before you do this, right? So if as a dentist, you're only advertising implants, the best thing you've got is a $2,000 sale, right? Or the worst thing you got, a $2,000 sale. If you're advertising your whitenings, you got a $21 thing and you have to like squeeze them for money. It doesn't feel great selling, right? And with this right here, this whole system, like we only advertise implants. That's it. And our dentists are happier. Cindy, you should be advertising implants like consistently, and you'll get people coming in wanting to buy your stuff and being happier that they're spending more money with you. So there you go.
I'm waiting for the dentist version of the joint.
It's going to happen.
The root or something.
Yeah, the tooth, right?
The crown.
Right? There's a guy, I'll just say his first name. You probably know him. Try not to repeat it. His name is Sean, right? And he's in the group, right? He's kind of like an older fella. He's a dentist, and he's a business owner first and then dentist second, right? He operates a low-cost dentist model. His 3 locations gross more foot traffic and higher turnover than the next 10 dentists in his spot or on like that little chart or whatever. He's being poached to be the CEO of a 30-location dental practice that wants to spread all across the country, saying we only do low-cost implants. He will be heading up the next joint, right?
Yeah.
And it's super frustrating to be a local business owner doing that, because you have equipment, you have employees, you have staff, but that's how like hyper competition works now. And we are in the most competitive time and age ever in the history of the world today. So
Crazy.
Yep.
Dentrix says, are the calls being made and recorded with an internal power dialer?
So I have not figured out how my power dialer should work. I know there's a video on it. I haven't done it, right? Like, I just haven't figured it out yet. So what I'm doing now is, and this will be later today or tomorrow, I will be going into GHL, clicking on Kimberly's name, clicking dial, and yeah, I know I have to figure out Twilio. It's going to happen, okay? But I just didn't do it yet, okay? Like, I got to find the username and password, right? Whatever, right? So I'll be calling them through GHL, and I'll call them 3 times in a row, and then I'll find a process that works manual first and then build an automation around it. And I'll be happier and healthier because of it. I'll have automatic replays and recordings. And if my client is ever like, I don't think this person is real, like, I just talked to them for 15 minutes. Here's a recording.
Yep. You got this. I have videos on my channel, Jeff.
I know. I got a power. I know.
May the force be with you.
Coming soon. Yeah.
Cool. Oh, Jerem says it's called Professional Dental.
Professional Dental, but the quality. So that is the next McDonald's. Professional Dental. And when I say McDonald's, it's a two-fold term of like, they're really, really good at what they're doing. They're super professionalized. It is an assembly line, but also synonymous with like non-personalized service. And by Jerem's sentence, like, I understand that, right? But it's on the way. No ifs, ands, or buts. Like,
yeah.
we're in an age of massive competition. A slight edge matters more and more. And I mean,
yep.
Build this out and have a good time type of stuff.
I'm about to read that book, by the way.
The Slight Edge?
Yeah.
It's like half of it's good, right?
The first half or the second half or the middle?
Middle half. I don't know. Oh, sorry. Okay. I'm thinking of Good to Great. Sorry. I'm thinking of Good to Great.
Oh.
Where like he talks about like the 5 layers of leadership. He eventually wrote the Slight Edge book.
Okay.
And I was reading through it. I was like, okay, I'll find a couple things. But I'm reading that. I read the Good to Great, Slight Edges over there, the Dan Kennedy book, and then who's the I Will Teach You to Be Rich guy? He's over. Yeah, he's over there where that table, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's one of the first guys I started following when I was still working my corporate job. That guy and the Fire Me, I Beg You. That was a good book. Fire Me, I Beg You. Yeah.
Trust Me, I'm Lying. That's a book. That's a marketer to marketer book. Yeah. Trust Me, I'm Lying.
Nice.
Yeah. But the basic idea for everybody watching, and I know we're coming to an end really fast, is that like, look, if you're super frustrated and fearful about approaching clients, it's because at the core, you are uncomfortable making an offer that you're not sure you can fulfill. And that's totally fine. I've been there. And you can either spend days, weeks, months, or years trying to be like, oh, I could sell a thing and then build it, or you can just build it first. And as somebody that really likes to wake up at 4 in the morning and start digging around on the internet, building stuff is fun. All I did was find an ad that already works, make a fake business page, spend $100, and then pick my conversion device, which is like for me, Facebook form fills, have some questions, shove it in GHL, and prove that the ad works.
I like this shove it.
Right? And I was going to say integrate, but like shove. Honestly, like I'm so used to working with my hands that like I'll be like, but why doesn't it work? Like just put it in there. Just come on. And like, if you imagine a kid that's like trying to shove a triangle into a circle, that was me. I was like, just keep pushing, it'll break eventually, right? It'll fit. So shove it in GHL, call them and qualify them, and now you've got proof. And at the very least, by the way, you have recorded phone calls of you talking to people, have a qualifying session. You know these people are legitimate, and that's the best you can do. And then you have an asset that you don't have to worry about selling every time a client cancels.
Cool. Awesome. How did they find out more if they are interested in working with you, Jeff, or checking out your group?
I would highly recommend joining the group, Facebook at Agency Scaling Secrets. it's probably the easiest and best way for people to like interact with me and figure out what I do in exchange for money and all that fun stuff and how to work together. We have a weekly lunch and learn where we talk about this stuff all the time. We have weekly interviews as well. And every once in a while, I'll put it out an offer of like, hey, if you're interested in paying money, you can. And then we have a good time with it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. So go follow Jeff, guys. He's a big reason why I am where I am today, because I listened to Jeff.
Tell your brain to STFU.
Yeah. So all you have to do is listen to this guy. He is amazing and literally like one of the big reasons I am where I am today. So thank you, Jeff, so much for your time today, and appreciate you very much. And I hope you guys have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.
See you guys later. Bye.